Good morning, millennials. I'm here with Olivia. Do you want to hit us with a good morning? Have you done it yet?
I have never done it.
Give us your best good morning, millennials.
I feel like you're gonna make fun of me.
No, it's so much fun. You're gonna love it.
Good morning, millennials. Do you know what that reminds me
Yes.
of? Okay.
Good morning, Megan. I won't blast her last name, but we used to have a principal in high school who talked like that. Now that we think about it, he's like, "Good morning, Megan," last name, who I'm not going to blast.
And I used to say that all the time.
Yeah, and we used to die laughing.
Yeah.
Good times.
But it's so not the same, but it is.
Welcome to the Toast.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't believe I haven't been here before.
I know. You came to set once, right?
I came to set
a meeting.
once, yeah.
Okay, so you knew where you were going when you got here.
Yes.
I was hoping that would be the case.
Yeah.
We are so happy to have you. You were
just checking myself out.
You were so requested, and you also were one of the harder guests to nail down.
Listen, I'm a working girl, so 9 to 5 is my prime time.
Right, but 10:30 is our time. It's toast time. We have so many questions for you. Obviously, you're the talk of the town, the toast of the town.
You could see me moving.
I'm going to confiscate your phone.
I'm turning it off just so that I don't have to see.
Great. And you like how you're good?
I'll be fine.
Okay. You're the toast of the town, engaged,
yes,
and underage. Mazel tov. We're going to get a close-up of the ring, you guys, because we know that's really what you tuned in to see. So, how are you feeling?
I feel amazing. It's just such a weird feeling in the sense that I feel so overwhelmed with just so much emotion, but I'm so happy. I'm on such a high, and I just never want the high to go down.
Has it sunk in yet? Do you wake up and remember that you're engaged? You have to remind yourself.
No, I wake up and remember that I'm engaged. I wake up excited that I'm engaged, and me and Zach always wake up and we're engaged, so.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time. Have you begun the wedding planning process?
I have, actually. Zach and I are V down to have a pretty short engagement, so we're just sorting through all of the details now, and it's just a super exciting time for you too.
For me as well.
Sisters and bridal
engaged
shit.
sisters. Well, what's so funny is last week on the show we were talking about a story about the Kardashians, and we were saying how cute it is that they're all having babies at the same time, which is what they always wanted. Literally, Stormy and Chicago were born within 2 weeks of each other, and I was about to say it's like us, all kind of getting married around the same time, but you weren't engaged yet, so I bit my tongue.
Totally.
But I really wanted to say it, and now I can say it.
And here's the thing. If you said it, I probably wouldn't have seen it, but people would have read into it, and it would have just caused a shitstorm.
It would have started a post in the Toasters.
And by the way, what I want to say is, now that I am engaged, so many people are just oh, I've known for so long. I've known for so long. Because the reality is that between everybody's plans, this has obviously been in the works for a while.
Right.
And obviously a lot of people were in the know. And the fact that, nothing ever leaked to me, I feel is, I can't believe it.
We're a tight-lipped bunch.
My friend Sandy, who's watching, told her freaking coworker that she's oh, my friend Olivia is getting engaged today. Just the fact that, people didn't spiral is so beyond me.
Well, I mean, I tried to tell, no one because I trust myself, but, once it's outside of my body, I can't control it. But she told this person weeks before.
No, day of.
Oh, that's fine. Because by then, it's not going to get to you in time.
Totally.
So day of, how surprised were you?
Okay. And this is what everybody keeps asking me. And what I will say is I was surprised and I was not surprised at the same time because I knew it was coming. And the thing is that there was only so many days in the year with everybody being in New York that it could possibly happen.
Right. And it's so funny when people are were you surprised? It's yes, I communicate with my man. I know that we're getting engaged soon.
Right, exactly. I knew that, it was happening soon. I didn't obviously know when. But every day that it could be, I had, a little, tinker in my mind. I'm today could be the day. But I didn't want to be that type of person who got a blowout or was super amped up, because if it didn't happen, then the only person you're mad at is yourself. What do you say to the person? I'm really upset with you. You didn't propose to me today. It's psychotic. So I was just if it happens, great. If I have frizzy hair, great. Whatever happens, I'll be just so happy that it's happening that I won't even give a shit.
That is such a good way to look at it. And honestly, if I had to guess, I wouldn't have taken you as that kind of girl.
Totally.
I thought you would have wanted to be dry barred, glam squad, claw nails, ready at any moment.
I think when you think about
But
it.
that's just not a way to live.
But I think when you think about it, sure you want that because, totally. You think that you want that because that's just an image that you have in your mind. But when it's actually happening, so we can go into the story because I'll tell you exactly. Because basically what happened was we have dinner together every Friday night. Everybody knows that. And because of Summer Fridays, with
called
Zach.
The Sabbath.
Yes, Shabbat. And because it was over the summer recently, Zach and I would always hang out every Friday afternoon because we both had summer Fridays to some extent. Mostly we just both took them. So usually we would just like hang out before and then go to dinner. And so when he was like, I'll meet you at your apartment, and I was like, great, and then we'll go to dinner. So I actually wound up having lunch with my friend Danny, who was a ploy in this whole situation to make sure that I like didn't go anywhere and was with her while everybody was in the planning. And I went to my apartment, dinner's at 6, it was like 5:47, I texted Zach, I'm like, where are you? And he was like, crap, I'm running late, like I'll just meet you there. I'm like, great. So I start walking over, I'm like, like this could happen, but like again, I'm not really gonna think about it.
As you were walking, you were thinking like this could happen?
Yes,
okay.
I was like, there's a chance, but I wasn't like overthinking it, I was just like, thought in my head, goodbye thought. So I get to the lobby and Zach is there like all suited up with no backpack. And I know he said he had a client meeting, which I since found out he didn't even go to work, nor did he have a client meeting that he told me was horrible. So like liar, liar, pants on fire. But I was like, okay, little sketch. Again, like when it's happening, you have no effing clue what's going on, even though you know what's going on.
Right. And it's all very quick. Like you walk through the lobby in 5 seconds.
Yeah. So we get in the elevator and it just goes right up to the roof. Again, I'm realizing what's happening, but I have no clue what's happening. Elevator door opens and there's a big sign there that says, will you marry me? And I'm just like so overwhelmed. I'm like, yes. And he's like, no, it hasn't happened yet. I'm like, oh, wait, what? You know? Because it was like the decor.
In hindsight, that part was a little confusing.
Yes. So then I walk outside where there's like...
We will shoulder the blame
for it. But it's fine because it was like, that was the prep, you know? Yeah. We walk outside and... because there's like this grassy area, all the flowers and candles and beautiful setup arrangement, amazing. I'm just like, again, realizing what's happening, but like not because I'm so overwhelmed. And mind you, like I'm holding my janky ass broken phone, like my weird ass sweater and my bag that has like my entire life in it, computer and everything. And like, I don't even have the frame of mind to put my shit down. Like that's why when you say, when you know you don't, like I didn't even know what was happening, but I knew it was happening, okay?
Right.
So then, like, it's all happening. I'm so overwhelmed. Like, I just can't believe all of it. And, like, all of a sudden, I start hearing, like, a click, click, click of a photographer. And Zach was always like, I just want to let you know, like, when we get engaged, like, we're not having a photographer. Like, he just so anti all that stuff because he, like, we could just live, like, in a little box for the rest of our lives and we'd be, like, two super happy people.
You guys aren't, like, as thirsty as the rest of the bunch.
Yeah.
You didn't get that thirst DNA strand.
And I'm very okay with that. But anyways, I was like, oh my God, babe, I can't believe you hired a photographer. Like I was dying. And then all of a sudden I saw that it was Zach's sister taking all the photos. She like loves photography and she did such a beautiful job. And I was so happy that she was a part of our moment. It was just like so sweet. It was just like, I was so overwhelmed with emotion and like, in the grand scheme of things, I'm an emotional person, but not that sort of emotion. It's usually like emotion sad, not emotion happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I understand what you mean. I was so excited. Like not to make this about me, but like while this was happening and I knew you were up on the roof, like I like couldn't breathe. I was like freaking out. I was like, I couldn't take the anticipation anymore. Like it was so much, like it was so overwhelming, just like waiting. You guys were up there for so long.
Well, I wanted to come down and Zach was like, wait, and I thought like something else was happening. So like we were just taking a lot of time up there. But like the only thing that I had said to Zach is when you propose to me, the only thing that I want is that immediately after we can see our families. And that's why I know a lot of people thought that I was going to get engaged in Napa. Like I knew I wasn't because I said like we have to be able to just be with everybody after. That was the only thing that I asked for. And that's why I always knew we were just going to have like a chill, very like sentimental family oriented engagement, not like a big splash.
Got it.
Which I'm the most okay with. So like that's why I just knew it wasn't happening in Napa when everyone's like, I thought you were getting engaged. I'm like, no, I knew I wasn't. Yeah. But I also knew that it was going to happen before Thanksgiving. That was the time frame that I had in my mind. So that's why every day before Thanksgiving that it could possibly be, I was like, today could be the day.
Very fair. So did you have like a manicure at least?
So I did have a manicure because like I actually do get a manicure quite often. Like for people who work in the corporate world, let me give you a little tidbit. Like go on your lunch break because 1, nobody's there, and 2, it's like a good kill of an hour, and 3, if you're somebody that's dieting like I am right now, then you don't have to sit and think about food.
That's true. And also, it's the perfect amount of time. And if you're also a working person, you should have a manicure. Like, it really spruces up the look.
Totally.
But I will say something. People nowadays, it's like, you have to make sure she gets a manicure before she gets engaged. Like, she wouldn't want to put the ring on, like, a chipped finger. And it's like, it really does not matter. Because even in all those pictures that you took, like, you don't see your nails.
See anything.
And, like, you don't care about your nails. Like,
Yeah.
I got a manicure right before because like Snitch was making fun of my mint green nail polish, and
Right.
like at the time I was happy that I did, but in hindsight, like if it's at the risk of spoiling the engagement, like don't make someone go get a manicure.
Agreed.
You know, because it's a telltale sign when someone's like, let's get manicures, I hate your nail color.
Yeah, nobody said that to me. But what people did was, I swear to God, never in my life have so many people asked me what I'm doing this weekend. No one ever asked me what the heck I'm doing because I'm never really doing much unless I have a big plan, whereas like everybody knows where I am.
Right.
If I'm going on somebody's bachelorette or if I have a wedding or something, like everybody knows like what I'm doing that weekend. So like really random people were like, what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, why the fuck do you care? So then I was like, ooh, peace, 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 like adding it all together, you know?
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Some people, they think they're so sneaky and they're not. You just
Yeah,
gotta
no, you're not.
You just gotta be quiet.
Well,
Like,
the other thing is too, and so Zach and I went to look at rings. So like I knew pretty much what I wanted because I have a significantly large finger, which is like the size of like a 7.5.
Is your left ring finger the double jointed one or your right one?
They both are.
Oh my God, you guys, this girl has the craziest fingers, like
They
ever
just
since.
like bop around. But anyways, and it's so funny. Actually, this is a really funny story because this is the hand. So this is my hand, okay? When this must have been like 10 years ago now, a piano fell on my hand, like a full-fledged baby grand, and my two fingers here, mostly this one, were completely shattered. Okay, not a big deal. Went to this hand doctor specialist, and when I put my hand in the x-ray, for some reason, like my joints here, like this finger just naturally separates like that. Like they didn't even realize that my two fingers here were completely shattered. They thought this finger was broken. Like that this was the broken part. Because my hand is so insane.
Your hand is
Look at my hand is so insane. Like my pinky just goes out like that. Like I don't even know why it does that.
Your hands are wild. Like they've
So
always,
anyways, because
they've
of
always
that.
eluded me.
So because of that, I actually wanted to have a better understanding of what I wanted to just know what shape looked good on my finger.
Right.
And I never thought that I would want a round. I just didn't think it was my personality. My face is round enough, and I got enough rounds in my life that I was like, I don't think round is for me. But when we started trying everything on, like I was like, oh, I'm into an emerald, and I was trying everything on, and it just was not doing it for me. And I tried on the round, and I was like, you're gonna think I'm nuts, but there's no doubt in my mind, like this is it. And so
that's how it happens. It's really nice. Like
Totally.
your hand makes the choice for you. Like if you go into the ring choosing process with no clue what you want, like me, like I didn't know anything.
Yeah.
Fancy cut, emerald cut, like nothing. And I just tried on a bunch of rings, and then I'd had like no reaction. So it was
Yeah.
like, this is a beautiful ring. What's not to like? And then I tried on like the one, and I was like, I'm a princess, and she's like, that's how you should feel.
Yeah, and I actually always thought I wanted an oval. And what's
And
funny,
I always thought I wanted exactly your ring.
Yeah, and what's funny is I actually started following a lot of like jewelry Instagram. So there's a girl that I went to NYU with. Her name's Olivia Landau, and she does the clear cut. And if you're just like wanting to know things about diamonds, her Instagram is amazing. This is like not a plug at all. I'm just like, I think she does an amazing job. And so like I would really like get a good understanding of things. I would even like message her. I'm like, what is something like that like cost? What does something like that? How long does it take to make? I just like wanted to know like what these things were because I didn't know anything.
Right.
And so after Zach and I looked at the ring, we basically like I made a promise to him, and I was like, and I'm not this type of person to begin with, but I was like, one, like I'm not touching your phone until it happens. Like I just like won't pick up your phone, won't look at your phone, won't nothing. I didn't want to know anything.
Got it.
I was like, I'm not gonna try to be like the great hypothesizer. Like I just like we made that promise to each other. He's like, we went to look at rings, you know what's happening, like just like let it happen. And that is what we did.
Got it. Because I was like, you're kind of like sneaky and on top of things. Like if you wanted
Super.
to know, you would have known.
Exactly. And the other thing is too, the only time I ever saw something was Zach was driving, so I took his phone, we had to open a note, and in the note I saw October 12th. And I said to him, I'm like, I just want to let you know I saw this because like I'm a very honest person. I was like, I know whatever you guys are doing, like you're working super hard. Like if I see something accidentally, I'm just going to tell you. And he was like, actually, like that's Claudia's show schedule. Like he had Claudia's whole show schedule to be able to know like when people were in town and when people weren't. And then I went on girlwithnojob.com and saw that, girlwithnojob.com, shameless plug because I'm sitting in her seat.
She's in Albany tonight. Go buy tickets.
No, Albany or Alabama?
Oh.
Albany. You're right.
And then Albany to Alabama.
Yeah.
Very
Because she just posted a story before I got here about someone bringing her a Roll Tide shirt, but like she's not going there for another day.
Got
Anyways, she does have a show on October 12th. And then I was like, okay, this is about as much sleuthing as I'm doing. That's a fact. That's a reality. Goodbye.
Great. Well, it all worked out. We are so happy for you.
Thank
and
you.
it was so, like, the whole weekend was just, like, so wonderful and full of love. But just, like, seeing anyone and seeing you at, like, your happiest was just, like, so lovely to watch.
Well, we then did have a surprise engagement on Saturday night with all of Zach's friends, all of our friends, which was just, like, a blast in a glass. Like, I think everybody told us that they had truly the best time.
It was so fun.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah, it was just, like, such a good group of people. Honestly, like, not to toot our own horns, but we just, like, surround ourselves with good people, so.
We do.
It's nice. Anyways, we're going to take all your questions for Olivia after the news of the day, just so we can break it up. We have some really good questions for you, and there's one that I just actually want to ask you first because it really sticks out to me. Are you going to wear platform sneakers at your wedding?
Yes. So this is an amazing question. I almost put it on my story. So I found these shoes. I'll show them to you after. Everybody knows that I wear Stella McCartney's. I have now 4 pairs of them in addition to like all of the bunch
if you just
of
go
like
that, people can see. Oh, gotta lift that leg.
By the way,
QVC style.
You should probably see my face when I did that because number one, I've been working out with Matt from the Live Method, who's like literally the greatest trainer on earth. My body is so sore. I just couldn't lift my leg right now. Like I can't move. It's just like working out such different muscles because like I need all the help that I can get. That I'm starting as early as I possibly can, aka day 1 of being engaged.
You're shedding for the wedding?
I'm shedding hardcore. And like the workouts are so great. If you don't know about the Live Method, one, I really thought that like I should work with somebody that like had Live in their name. I just felt like it would be such a good...
Is it L-I-V-E?
No, it's L-I-V. It stands for Longevity, Integrity, Vitality. And it's amazing. He started the whole business on his own. Him and his wife are so freaking cute. Their Instagram just like amazed me. Like the transformations that people go through, like people that I know through people, and I'm just like, always was wondering like, how did they look so good at their wedding? And I was like, oh, like this guy like really, and all the trainers that they have there like bust people's asses like in the best possible way.
So how often are you going to train?
Right now I'm planning to train 2 times a week, but then they do like group circuit training boot camp classes on Saturday and Sunday. I'm not going this week, but I plan to be there every week going forward. So like, please come with me at the Live Method. It will be so much fun. Like everybody's more than welcome. Like we'll all train together. It'll be fantastic. And so yeah, I'm super sore. I'm really excited. I'm hardcore shredding for the wedding. If that was a question, I will answer that now.
Shedding and shredding.
And I will go back to my other question because...
You will be wearing platform sneakers.
So I found these sneakers, which I won't lift my leg again because it will actually break this time, with white lace instead of the pink part. They're a little too expensive, a lot too expensive for me right now, but I have a million searches
everywhere.
Are they
Stella McCartney?
Yes. They're gorgeous.
Maybe at 11:11, if you wish for them, you'll get them.
I'm not like going to spend money on like a pair of like Jimmy Choo, Carrie Bradshaw with the, because I'm going to wear it for 2 seconds and burn them. And I just would rather be me. And I will be wearing white because I knew that was a question too. While I would love in my heart of hearts to wear black, I just will not. And which is why I didn't wear black on the show today, in addition to the fact that I woke up at 9:10. So
you are wearing black.
This is like a navy blue, no?
No.
This is black. Whatever.
They're
this
both
is
black.
Whatever.
And if you're watching, the colors are a little skewed because my shirt looks like hot pink, but
Does
it's
it
actually...
look gray? What do I look like on there?
It looks like, I guess it actually looks sort of gray compared to your pants. But my shirt, fun fact, is neon orange.
So
but
fun fact,
like
and Bruno
pink.
Mars, which we have to talk about because you literally lived your bestest life ever.
I'm in love with him. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I went to the Bruno Mars concert last night. And what's so crazy is a year ago, Claudia and I were supposed to go to the concert, and I fell ill. And I gave my tickets to the Snitch, and I just felt like
Miranda redeem yourself.
I felt like Miranda Priestley's assistant when she can't go to Paris because she gets hit by a cab, and like she's been eating cheese cubes all week, and Andrea, size 6, gets to go. So I like in my head, I was just like, you know what? The next time he comes to town, like I will go and I will see Bruno Mars one time. Eventually. And I just want to say, like, really, patience is a virtue because I've been patient. And it was a year to the day that he performed at Barclays last time.
Really?
Which is just weird, like a weird
Super
thing.
Weird.
So I went with Zach last night, and like we tried to get the best tickets possible. I was like, he's one of my favorite artists of all time. Like, there's no amount that I wouldn't spend to see him.
Right.
So we just wanted to be as close as possible and in it. And like, he is just like so wildly talented. Like, his music is so good. Like, everyone was up on their feet the whole time. Like, people of all ages. It was just like and what's so crazy, I forget where I saw Bruno Mars say this. He was like, I was on a cruise once in Hawaii, and there was a band when he was a kid. He was like, they were just playing music that everyone wanted to dance to. And he was like, that's the kind of music I want to make. Like, that everyone, everywhere, any age, like, whoever you are can dance to this music. And like he's really accomplished that like in spades.
Who opened for him?
So it was supposed to be Cardi B,
right?
But then she dropped off the tour, and now I think it was like a mix of people. I don't know who did it last night, but I didn't go for the openers.
Got it.
We had a delicious meal.
I mean, looked it.
At Bellini, at like which is the new Cipriani restaurant at the Seaport, and like I just was feeling not well all day, like mentally and physically. Like I just did not have a bad day, so I was like, I need pasta. I need to fuel up for this concert.
Do it.
And even when I got to the concert, I was in like kind of a bad mood because I was just like not feeling it. I like didn't even bring a portable charger because I was like, there's no way I'm going to be like filming and being extra the whole time.
Right. Yeah. Please.
The first note, I'm like. And it was just like the power of music. Like it just totally transformed my whole mood.
Well, have you ever been to a concert and like you obviously hold your phone in your hand, someone like you, and look at your steps after?
That's all I do. So yesterday I accomplished 4,500 steps, which was all from the concert because from once I got home from the toast yesterday, I didn't get out of bed because I just like really wasn't feeling well.
Right.
But then just Bruno Mars totally lifted me up. And if you ever have the chance to see him, go and see him. It was just such a great show. Music for everyone. You know every word to every song. And he's just an amazing performer, an amazing dancer. And like I fucking love the Hooligans, like his group. They're so cool. And I want to be a hooligan. And the way that I dance, like I've got hooligan vibes. It's like they're not like they're amazing dancers with amazing rhythm, but they're not doing moves that like could break your back.
You're gonna be like a hooligan for Halloween?
Oh my God, I should be. That would be amazing.
Do you have ideas of what you want to be for Halloween?
I do. A couple of solid ones, like maybe Kim Possible, maybe Mason Ramsey.
Right.
I have a list on my phone.
Right.
Zach and I still want to be like Annie and Daddy Warbucks one year, but like I just don't want to.
That's also like kind of morbid, you know?
No, it's like just weird and funny, but I don't want to wear that like wig. Like that.
Well, you wouldn't have to. You just gotta like have somebody
Get
curl your hair like super like
Girl,
banana baby curly.
Ooh, let me show you.
Another fun fact, as you know, I hate Halloween.
I thought you were going to say Bruno Mars.
No.
You hate Halloween.
I hate Halloween. I never go. I don't dress up. I never have. I don't care. I don't get it. I'm so glad it's in the middle of the week so all you fuckers can figure out what weekend you want to do before or after and go away.
Yeah, that's very on brand for you to not be into Halloween.
Just not for me. And it's funny because I was watching the Food Network last night, which is super on brand for me, and everything is Halloween themed, and I just like, I couldn't even wrap my head around the fact that like we're close to Halloween, you know?
I mean, Halloween is around the corner. It's what's crazy is on October 26th, like Christmas programming at Hallmark starts.
I can get super down for that.
I'm so down for that. I already watched a Hallmark movie the other night. It wasn't Christmas themed. It was just like
lovely themed
June weddings, and it was called June in January, and it was really great. I highly recommend it. And I recommend Bruno Mars, and I recommend getting engaged.
Totally. I really recommend getting engaged too.
So now that it's been
I didn't even mean to just scratch my head like that with my finger, but here, I'll just keep doing it for you.
Why do you need to apologize for
I don't
scratching
know.
your head?
I don't know. It's just like, because usually I wouldn't like put my hand in front of my face, but now I will.
You're so aware of like every motion. Now that we've killed 23 minutes, here are the fast 5 stories that you need to know before you wake up and take a bite out of your morning toast. Wonderful. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you watch The Toast?
As I said, I think I said in another venue on the Patreon maybe, that I don't always get the chance to watch, but I mostly try to catch up on podcast on the way home, which is when I learned of the hum. And are you okay?
I just had like a back spasm. Sorry. I'm like really actually not feeling well today, guys. That's why like I didn't really.
But you look fantastic, and you do not look like you don't feel well.
It's the power of makeup. But I woke up like with the sore throat. I'm getting sick, and like if it were any other guest, I like would have canceled.
Well, I would say one thing. After this, go home, go to sleep with no air conditioning on, and just let yourself sweat it out. You'll feel so much better when you wake up.
Okay, well, and I also should take something. But then I'm getting on a plane tomorrow, which is going to make everything worse.
Totally, but I'm super excited for you.
For my big photo shoot.
Totally. It's going to be unbelievable. Does everybody know that?
Everyone knows I'm going to the State Fair this weekend to take engagement pictures that are going to be so fucking extra.
That is unbelievable.
But what's so crazy is right now, like I chose this date like months ago. I could have gone the State Fair is a 2-month thing, so I just had to pick a day that like worked for me and Zach and Anthony Vasquez. And
love Anthony Vasquez.
The weather in Dallas like is amazing, and it's like still like bathing suit weather. And of course, like the day I'm planning to go, there's like 70% chance of rain. But I don't let the weather like affect my life.
First of all, no. Also, the State Fair is very much like tenty vibes, red and white, and you just get under with the rain. Like it could be a gorgeous shot.
No, it's gonna be like
it's very Notebook. Actually,
if it does rain, like it'll be a pain in my ass. But I'm not gonna let that stop me from like what I've been planning.
Are you like have full glam squad following you?
No, because I do my own makeup, but I will be bringing like full glam.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Stories.
glad to know that you watched the toast.
I listen, and honestly, there's some guests that I like tune into more than others
Like
because
who?
as it relates to the stories, I have a pretty good gauge on like how you feel about most people and most things. So like I don't always feel, and all the stories that have ever like been in your life, I'm pretty sure I've known most of them.
Right.
So like I don't always feel the pressure to watch all the time. It's more so like I just like to be informed as all the other toasters are. But I actually had a little bit of anxiety coming today because Heather just kills it. She kills me, and like to follow her, that is hard.
No, it's so different. She's so
what she
funny.
was saying about orbits, like I can't even, because you know what? I totally agree, but I've also been that person who's been zone 6, who's like complained that I can't get my bag on, because at the end of the day, no matter how much you spent for your ticket, you bought a fucking ticket.
No, but like there's only so much room in the overhead.
Okay, then figure out overhead to seat ratio based on the size of bags that you allow on a plane. Like, it's math.
Well, okay,
it's not that hard.
then they'll only allow smaller bags, and then your bag doesn't get up at all.
No, my bag fits just fine. I always make sure I get it up.
And I feel like you don't book through Orbitz. Like, you're always getting upgraded through Delta.
I am always getting upgraded through Delta, but like sometimes like Orbitz and all of those Expedia, TripAdvisor, not plug.
I
No,
use
kidding.
Google
But
Flights.
Google Flights is the best of everything.
And it's not Orbitz, so you don't get put in zone 6. You just get put in whatever.
Yeah.
Wherever your seat is.
Yeah.
So
No, so it's
she's
good
so
to have
funny,
priority.
but this is just a totally different show because everyone's been waiting to hear from you.
No, totally.
So much anticipation has been building. So it's just like, we don't need to compare.
Yeah, but she's got jokes. I just got me. Do you know what I mean?
Both
Different.
great.
Okay.
First story, very exciting news. Shahs of Sunset's Mercedes Javid is pregnant, expecting her first child with husband Tommy Feight. Okay, you guys, this is so cute and so sweet, and I love them. Mercedes Javid is going to be a mom. The Shahs of Sunset star is pregnant with her first child with her husband Tommy Feight, a source confirms to Us Weekly exclusively. The source adds that Javid told her mom the happy news and then the cast of Shahs of Sunset while filming the reunion on Thursday, October 4th. The Bravo star, 44, opened up to Us in July about freezing her eggs before the pair tied the knot. She opened up to Us Weekly, and she also opened up to Us in July about freezing her eggs. So she's been going through this process for a long time, trying to get pregnant, and she's finally had success, and I'm so happy for her. She's been so open about how difficult the process is, and I feel like a lot of people were able to relate to her on that, and so like just to see her like have the success and be able to talk about it freely now because enough time has passed, like I just couldn't be happier for the two of them.
Her and Tommy are fantastic. Like, just seeing them in real life is like, they just go together so well. I really am so happy for her. I don't watch a lot of Bravo anymore, but like, I just like certain people, and I actually follow her on Instagram because I just like find her to be just like, there's something about her that she's like so irreverent and
she's
like
so
just
real. Like,
I love her. I couldn't be happy for her. Honestly, like I'm in this state of like blissful happiness, and I just wish blissful happiness on everybody in the world, and whatever that means to you, take it in. And I know that this is what this means for her. So my heart goes out to her. I'm so happy.
Totally. And then we're gonna have a little Shah baby. So that'll keep next season fresh. I haven't been keeping up with this season. I sort of like dropped off. I don't know why. I don't even know what night it's on. Like
totally. I feel like it's always on Sundays now.
Oh, maybe that's why. Because that's when I watch E. I saw an ad in the street that was like for CW, and it's like Sundays are for the CW, and it's like no, it's not. Like not even close. It's like Sundays are for E, and then if I'm not watching E, like,
I feel like
I could name off literally 10 other channels before I'd get to the CW.
Totally, and I feel like the CW is only on like Wednesdays when Riverdale's on, and I don't even watch Riverdale, and I would know that.
Right, and like Dynasty, they put it back to back with Riverdale again, which they should. Wednesdays are for the CW, but then they moved Dynasties to Friday, and I don't care. Dynasties could be on like I don't know.
Well, that's like
night.
Blue Bloods.
Saturday night, and I would stay in to watch it.
Since season 1 has been on Friday nights, which is like such a weird night, and it's been so successful because it's just such a good show.
Maybe because it's like a family show, and like you watch it on Friday night. That's
you
what
don't
I don't
watch
understand.
It, do you?
I don't watch it.
You better get on board.
I'm the only one in the family. No, I just like I'm okay for now. I'll
you have enough?
Also, like, you guys, like, love those cop shows.
Okay, I've been watching Blue Bloods
It's
since
like in
Jackie.
Step Brothers when he comes home sweaty and he's like, I was watching Cops. Like,
I've been watching Blue Bloods
family.
since season 1, episode 1. Like, I was in college literally 9 years ago, like, in my dorm on a Friday night, watching Blue Bloods before we would go out. And all the sisters, whenever they would make fun of me about the weird shit that I would watch on TV, they would call out 2 things. They're like, you watch weird things like Blue Bloods and The Blacklist. And now everybody watches Blue Bloods, and Margot watches The Blacklist too. So I guess I'm not that weird.
No, I called you out for watching weird things like the Food Network. And
That's not weird.
What's the other thing? The Affair.
Everybody
No,
on
you
the
watch like everything. Like
okay,
Chicago
first of all,
Fire.
Chicago Fire is a fantastic show.
Like the This Is Us. Do you watch?
I've been keeping up, but it's not my favorite because the first season was really good, and then they just like had a lot of pressure on them, and I just kind of felt like it was getting a little like phony forced. And also, I follow Mandy Moore on Instagram, and like seeing her like get into like. I'm not loving her the way that I was in the beginning because I just like, and I read some blinds about her, the whole thing. Anyways, but Chicago Fire is fantastic. Everybody on Earth watches The Affair, and I haven't even watched the last season of The Affair so far.
Okay, well, it's also hard. It's like there's so many new fall shows on these networks, and some look good, like some look terrible, like A Million Little Pieces or whatever. Some look good, like Manifest. Have you seen the commercials for that one? It's like the plane that went missing for 5 years, and it comes back, and everyone like hasn't aged a day, and they're like in perfect condition.
So
what
like
happened?
Lost?
I guess
A Tuck Everlasting Lost?
But it looks really good, and it's like everyone said the first episode was really good, but I don't want to get invested in a show that's going to be canceled.
Right. I agree with that, and also it's fun to watch shows that have more than one season. Like I'm watching The Good Wife right now, which has 8 seasons. It's going to take me through the end of the year, and I'm very okay with that.
Do you remember when we used to watch How to Get Away with Murder?
Yes.
I just like, it was
stopped,
so good,
by the
but
way.
I stopped too. I couldn't watch week to week because it was just too suspenseful and too scary, and I would watch it before I went to sleep, and it's like, who needs this? I've already seen Room.
Yeah,
like,
and by the way, and it's on ABC, so it's like, it's not even real scary because they can't even do that much, so like, why are we afraid?
it's just like the music, it's like,
Totally, it's like dark.
It's so dark.
Yeah.
So you have to watch it with the lights off, like,
Yeah.
because it's like dark, like Game of Thrones. But Game of Thrones is like less scary. Like I'm
Right.
not worried about like White Walkers coming for me in my sleep. Like, but I am worried about murderers. Okay, next story is very exciting. Speaking of fall being upon us, pumpkin spice latte season started in August, but is officially here. And what's interesting is the #1 state for consumers of the PSL is, do you want to take a guess?
Mm-hmm. New Jersey.
No, that's a funny guess, though, because they're all like basic bitches.
Right.
Sorry. Love you guys. We're the number one
Okay,
podcast
by the
in New
way,
Jersey.
Zach is from New Jersey, so we're allowed
and
to
we're
say
the
that.
number one podcast in New Jersey. Not for long anymore. I'm really sorry, you guys. I'm not
Wait,
talking
can
about...
I get another guess?
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice.
I don't think you'll get it. It's kind of random.
Random? So random, I'm going to say like Arizona.
No. Oregon.
Oh, I was never getting that.
Yeah. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is, but Square took a look at PSL transactions from across the country last year at small businesses that use its card readers. It found that after Oregon, people in Wisconsin, Ohio, Iowa, and North Dakota drink the most pumpkin spice lattes when adjusted to account for state population. Oh, okay, so it's like percentage. That makes sense.
But it's not a Starbucks pumpkin spice latte. It's just an everything pumpkin spice latte because you don't pay with Square at Starbucks. So
Perhaps.
it's like if a local coffee maker is making it flavored.
That's interesting.
Interesting.
Vermont and Maine, where September and October are all about foliage, surprisingly drink the fewest number of PSLs. That like sort of makes sense because all you have to do is look outside to get into the season. Like you don't need to go drink a PSL. Whereas if you live in California and you want to feel like it's fall, like go get a pumpkin spice latte.
I just have to
or
say,
light a candle, you know.
Everybody can eat and drink whatever they want, but pumpkin flavored things are gross. And like especially I don't want to start my day with anything pumpkin flavored, period. So like I don't get it. Respect that you can drink and eat and do whatever you want, but like I don't get it.
I have to be honest, I've never tried a pumpkin spice latte.
No, but have you had like pumpkin flavored anything?
Like
it's
pumpkin pie.
Not your favorite, is it?
It's nice. From what I've heard, pumpkin spice latte tastes like a chai latte, which I love. And I don't start my day with a chai latte because like then I would be like morbidly obese.
Right.
But if I could, I would.
I do hear
Or
that.
I would have it like as an afternoon snack with a little cookie crisp.
A pumpkin flavored cookie?
A pumpkin flavored cookie with a pumpkin spice latte. Sounds delicious. Now I know what all you guys in Oregon are up to. And if I could,
my God.
I would. Square also says that the cheapest version of the beverage can be found in South Dakota, where the average PSL is $3.56.
Okay, that's still pricey.
And the most expensive one is in Tennessee, where it costs about $5. That is so crazy. It's like the details that we can get about pumpkin spice lattes. Like we should probably be using this information to like get a man on the moon.
1,000,000%.
But there has been a man on the moon. What about a woman on the moon?
Hell yeah. I think you should go. Volunteer as tribute.
I get too homesick. Like, I really would, like, I can barely leave the country without, like, being like, where am I? Who am I? Why is the toilet flush like this? So imagine me on the moon.
No, totally. Also, I don't know about that outfit. I don't think is your style, you know?
The spacesuit. I don't know. Moon boots. Love them.
Moon boots.
I just got a new pair of moon boots that are the cutest things.
You've still been wearing moon boots for 10 years now.
Since college.
Yeah.
And like, they're so
Do you know who really started the moon boot trend?
Paris Hilton?
Other than her, like somebody we know?
Who?
Danny Hendler. She had them in every color, shape, size. I'm pretty sure when you came to visit us freshman year, like she was wearing them and you're like, oh, that's cute. I can wear those. And then you went off.
Really?
Yeah.
I need to think about
She was like nuts about them. Every color.
Where I was first introduced to moon boots. I got them freshman year of college.
Yeah.
I got pink ones. They took me all through college. And like when we used to snow at Colgate, like it would be, you would like, if it wasn't a snow day, which would have been like a million inches, like just a normal day would have been like up to your knees in snow. And the moon boots really just cut through all that.
I had some good times at Colgate.
Yeah, in the snow. Junior year, September, you came with Danny. That was wild. We went to Beta Beach.
Yeah, no, but I also came another February when all of your friends were abroad, so that must have been junior year.
Oh yeah, and that was all, you. So you came twice that year.
When I got really sick. Do you remember?
Yes, of course I remember.
We won't tell.
And then senior year, you guys came for my birthday, and then you also came in June for my graduation.
Yeah, because honestly, we didn't come for Jackie. We came for Slices Pizza, which is literally the best pizza on earth.
The best pizza on earth. And I heard a rumor that Slices is closing, and I'm literally freaking out.
Why don't you buy it? Buy the recipe and run a pizzeria.
And bring it down here.
I mean, honestly, it's a very good
What's
idea.
so crazy is like everyone who goes to college is like, my college has the best food. Like I don't.
Oh, I can't even. People
like,
go to Michigan, like shut
up. Seriously, shut up. And like my sisters who like don't feel strongly about anything, like, and if they do, it's pizza, and like they're New Yorkers, so they'll tell you New York pizza is the best pizza. Like agree that Slices at Colgate is the best pizza of all time.
There's no doubt. There's
right. So if they're
no doubt.
like, it doesn't mean so much coming from like a college student, like coming from you guys. That's like
There's
the true
no
test.
doubt. No doubt.
So I'm so glad you agree. I'm going to Colgate in a month.
You are?
Yeah, I'm going with Rebecca and Dina. We're just gonna have a fun weekend with our men and like show them
so
around.
fun.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna stay?
At the Colgate Inn, very prestigious.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
So we'll go to
You should do
Slices.
all those things that like you couldn't do. Remember there was like a country club type place? Like
Yeah. We
Yeah.
used to go there, but it's a golf course and it will probably be too cold. And
Got
I
it.
don't golf, but they have a delicious
like the
salad.
fancy things, you know?
Yeah, like people go like apple picking and stuff. I'll think about it.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I just like kind of want to just walk around, take pics.
Totally.
We'll see. Like go to the library, read a book. I don't know.
Go to Frank.
Go to Frank. Oh my God, yes. Okay. Next story, very sad news. Zach Brown, it's so hard for me to say Zach Brown without saying Zach Brown Band.
Yeah.
But Zach Brown of Zach Brown Band and wife Shelly separate after 12 years of marriage. Quote, this was a difficult decision. In a joint statement shared exclusively with People, the Zach Brown Band lead singer and the Shelly Brown jewelry designer revealed they are separating after 12 years of marriage. Quote, we feel blessed to be on such an incredible journey in life, and sometimes the journey begins to lead in different directions. It is with deep love and respect that we announce that we are separating as a couple, said the pair who wed in 2006. Very sad.
Very sad.
The Browns share 5 children.
Wow.
Son Alexander 4, daughters Joni, Georgia, Lucy, and Justice. Justice for these children, man.
Totally. Very, very sad.
Very sad, but like, you know, hopefully they'll be better off, happier, separate.
Totally.
And
I know like one Zach Brown Band song, and like I feel like every summer they sell out Citi Field in like the most like wild spectacle
2
of a
shows.
concert, and good for them. So
like for a country artist to do stadiums in New York is wild. Most country artists can't even do MSG in New
Yeah.
York because like New Yorkers are so out of tune with what's necessary.
very true. Well, might be a pricey divorce then.
Yeah, oh for sure. No, he's definitely rolling in it, but she's a jewelry designer, so like maybe
Oh, how lovely for her.
maybe she has her own stuff going on.
That is very sad, honestly. I hate to hear that.
Yeah, no, me too. But maybe this, I mean, silver lining, maybe this will spurn some good music from him.
Totally, if he writes his own music.
He definitely does. I heard he's writing with Ryan Tedder from One Republic, and like that's going to be amazing.
Totally.
Because he's on tour with One Republic right now. Like,
Got it.
One Republic's opening for Zach Brown Band, which is just like something I never would have thought of. But
Did you see One Republic in concert recently?
Yes, when I went to see Zach
Yeah,
Brown
and you
Band.
were surprised like how many of the songs you knew and you really liked them, right?
No, I knew that like I loved them and I was
Yeah.
so excited to see them, and then they were just even better. I was surprised actually that they were the opener and that like less that it was just that was surprising. But I
Got
guess
it.
I don't know. It was cool.
Got it.
Anyways, very sad story. But
Very sad.
Let's move on to an even sadder story.
No.
Yeah. Man rescued after allegedly being kept in a squalid 6-foot shed for 40 years. This is just so crazy because you know that we're in like Room mode this week. Have you seen Room?
I haven't.
That's
and
what I've been asking
honestly,
every guest this week.
I know what happens, and I choose not to watch it.
I mean, obviously we all know what happens.
Right. I just like, I know the premise, and thus I don't need to torment myself further.
But that's how I felt. And
Yeah. I'm sure cinematographically it's wonderful, and the acting, I know she was nominated for a zillion awards, and Jacob Tremblay is an angel from heaven. But I still will choose not to watch that movie.
But like, it's not about all those things. At least for me, it wasn't about like the cinematography or whatever. Like, how great can you shoot a 11 by 11 foot shed? But it was more so about like the thought provoking element of it, and like what it means for like them to like be in the room and then get out of room, spoiler alert, and how they like go on living their lives, and like, you know, she had a child in room, and like what that means, you know.
No, totally.
It's just a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And I'm still thinking about it.
And I think that you'll be thinking about it for a long time, and thus I'm choosing not to put myself in a situation to think about those things.
Well, here, think about this.
Okay.
An English man has been rescued after allegedly spending the last 4 decades living in an unheated shed in a case authorities have described as, quote, modern-day slavery. On Wednesday, Gangmasters and Labor Abuse Authority discovered a 58-year-old man during a raid at a residence near the city of Carlisle, which is located in England, but is only about 10 miles from the Scottish border. In the shed, which was in extremely poor condition, the man was found with only a chair and a badly stained bedding. We found him, he was like a rabbit in headlights and very confused, Martin Plimmer from the GLAA said in a statement obtained by the BBC. Quote, he was just in clothes. He stood up in and where he was sleeping in the shed. There was just a soiled duvet on the floor, Plimmer told the outlet. There was no heating and it was very cold. It was conditions that no human being should be living in. Plimmer and the GLLA believe the man began working as a modern-day slave around the age of 16 or 17, BBC reported. The information that was given to us was that he had been kept in the shed for a period of 40 years. In my long career, I've never come across anyone who has been held as a slave, potentially for 40 years, and this, I think, could be the longest period of captivity that we have dealt with. It's an extremely sad and serious case.
So sad.
That is so sad. There are photos of the shed, and like
No,
I
don't
can't and I
Javid.
shan't. We've just been
It's
like
horrible.
talking about like kidnapping situations all week, and like I guess this is like kidnapping week, I guess, and so maybe now here, I'm glad this man has been discovered.
Totally.
But like,
Well, there's 2 elements of it. One, that he has been in captivity for like 40 years, and thus like essentially a slave for 40 years, which is insane. And 2, just like 16 or 17, like I can't even wrap my
right,
head
like,
around
and then
this.
if you like go out into the world now, 40 years later, you've spent like majority of your life living like this. How do you adjust to the real world?
No, you don't.
That's like what some of the conversations sparked in Room. But at least in Room, they had a toilet, a sink, and a TV, which like really kept them occupied. This man just had a bed, and
I can't. I
It's
truly
just so
don't have
sad.
much to say because it's horrendous. It's like so horrible. Like I'm gonna be thinking about this guy all day.
No, same.
I'm so glad he's freed, but I just like,
where do we go from here?
was his family looking for him? Like, how did they even find him? What is the situation of these people that were keeping him captive?
I'm sure more details will emerge. We'll follow the story closely on the evening
Sadness.
news. Okay, 5th and final story, some business news, which I really feel like more encouraged to speak on now because I've been hearing so many success stories from people about like this girl messaged me yesterday. I'm not gonna put you on blast, but she went on a date with like a man who's like older and established attorney, and they're talking, and he was like talking about business stuff, and she was using, like, she mentioned something that we talked about on the Toast about Elon Musk and how like he's a creative and maybe he's not meant for like the business side of things, and the guy she was on a date with was like so impressed. She was like, I think he fell in love with me like in that moment. So I just want to like put more news and stories out there so that you guys can be sparking like interesting conversations and just really like, I don't know, changing
Be
the
as well-rounded as you possibly can be.
changing the dialogue. So, can it get any worse for Snapchat? Stock falls below $8 after analysts cut price target. Snapchat alienated many of its fans, including some celebrities, when it launched a controversial redesign of the app earlier this year. That's not what did it, by the way, CNN Business. And if you want a business expert, Harvard business applicant to come and explain it to
Are
you.
you like, and see, that's the type of shit that like I wish I watched the Toast because then I found
you
out
don't
all
know
this
about
stuff.
this?
No.
Oh my gosh, I'm applying to Harvard Business School.
Okay. Good luck on the GMAT.
I have my practice book coming soon. I'm going to take one
I
practice.
have a practice book. Do you want it?
Well, after I spent like $29, I guess.
Well, I didn't know. Otherwise, I would have given it to you because at one point I was thinking about going to business school and I bought the book.
I
Remember?
thought you were going to go to a law school.
Well, I was going to go to law school immediately after college, but then once I started like being in the working world, I thought about going to business school, and then I thought about getting my JD MBA because my law school score like lasts for a pretty good time, even though it wasn't very good.
Where would you have gone to business school?
I didn't think that far. I thought more so about the GMAT and what, like, I'm not the best standardized
Did you take a practice test?
I took some practice sections.
Because this is my plan. I'm sorry, you guys have to hear this again, but some people just don't watch the toast. I'm going to take a practice test. If I get below a 500, I will give up on the stream because clearly, like, I don't have the brain for it. If I get above, I'm going to work towards getting a better score and applying to Harvard. And then I think everything else about me will get me in.
Okay, Elle, I agree.
And then, like, this show will really, like, we'll have, like, a Harvard business mind on the show. Like, it'll just,
Is everybody going to relocate to Cambridge and, like, you'll do the show from there?
Well, it's like we are the #1 podcast in Massachusetts, so it wouldn't be, like, the worst thing that ever happened to us. And, you know, maybe I could be, like, a commuter student. I haven't totally figured it out yet.
If you went to Yale or Princeton, you could truly be a commuter student because the train is only an hour and a half versus Boston, which is a bit further. So if you really want to think about doing it legitimately, you could think about schools. Also, NYU Stern is like one of the best business schools in the country.
Okay, but you know, NYU Stern just doesn't have the same ring to it as Harvard Business. Like,
but like, you could change the ring.
I'm not going to business school. I'm going to Harvard.
Fair. But what about Princeton?
I mean, I guess I would go.
Yeah.
I guess.
If
Twist my arm, and Yale, fine. I would think about it at least. Anyways, CNN. If you want me to explain.
Wharton?
Oh yes, I would go to that was
because that's an
Harvard,
hour 15
Harvard
train.
and Wharton were the two
Wharton,
that were.
I think, would be a really good option for you because you could legitimately do the show and like make it to a 2:00 class.
No, totally, and like this show would still benefit from a Wharton business.
And if you learned how to drive, you could drive yourself back and forth, no problem.
I don't
Just
know.
saying.
Let's start with the GMATs, okay?
Okay.
Anyways, CNN, if you would like a Harvard Business School applicant to come and explain to you why Snapchat is below $8, I'd be happy to do it. It reported a drop in daily users in August, and now it seems Wall Street is giving up on Snapchat as well. And it seems like everyone's giving up on Snapchat as well. Like, do people still work there? Does Evan Spiegel still go into the office, or he just like is with Miranda Kerr and their baby?
Right. Okay. So this is what I have to say about Snapchat because I too work in media, and it's so funny because a year ago people would have like died to be given the opportunity to work at Snapchat. Like
I remember when people got jobs at Snapchat, and it was like, oh wow, you got like the golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory,
and now it's
and now you're the grandparents in the bed.
But this is why, and we've talked about this a zillion times. One, they didn't listen to feedback, and they just let Instagram copy everything that they did without like evolving and changing the platform as they needed to. And two, like, there being too many things to too many people right now. Like, just become a private messaging service for these kids that want to, like, send weird photos back and forth to each other. Like, look at your data. How are people using it? Ain't nobody watching Discover. All these brands that killed themselves to get on Discover that have so quickly moved.
All these
losers. Like, it's so stupid. Like, why would you even hire people, waste time, energy, and effort to, like, build out these like vertical formats when nobody was watching? Did you even look at the data to see how many views you had before you kept pulling more money into figuring out how to get on Snapchat? Besides the point, go to Snapchat. Like, were you looking at the data to see like people were accidentally finding themselves on Discover, only watching the Daily Mail Snap story, by the way, and realizing that like, ooh, this is not our business. People do want to just share with their friends. They don't want brands to engage with them this way. It's just like, no one was like being smart there and looking at everything. No. Everybody was like kind of just like intrigued by like this new platform, and that's what peak, but like they didn't actually have a business plan to sustain.
No, for a long time, like they were innovating in a way that like that we needed. Because first it was like a weird messaging app where people like were sending nude photos. And then like they introduced stories, which really like made it a whole social platform on its own. And then they did nothing about Instagram copying them. They like did not innovate, and like Instagram copied you, so you should copy the things about Instagram that are good, like tagging friends. That took them like at least 6 months to do.
Totally.
Different fonts, like making it easy, put like just stupid shit, like that would literally take a programmer 30 seconds.
Being able to save, like that took 700 years to get.
Right, so just it was a classic case of not in tune with what's necessary.
Yeah.
And it's like they got so big and then they were like, let's just live off the land and not try and innovate further. And that's why right now the shares of Snap fell more than 6.5% Thursday to an all-time low after two analysts, Mark May of Citigroup and Anthony DiClemente of Evercore ISI, cut their target on Snapchat to $7 a share. It's now trading below $8 and has plunged more than 45% this year. DiClemente, who has a lovely last name that I just love saying.
DiClemente.
Who keeps tabs on download activity, expects Snapchat will post another decline in users when it releases its third quarter earnings later this month or in early November. He said the redesign has been a particular problem for Android users. Yeah, the redesign was just like the cherry on top, but the sundae of disappointment was already there.
Listen, Snapchat got greedy. They wanted to just partner with brands and make money. they didn't really think about their audience and their base first. And if you look at Instagram as an example, Instagram has never really been focused on the revenue portion of it. Slowly but surely, they're adding ads and shoppable experiences like over time. Everything is beta tested with a group of people they think would be interested in doing it. They were willing to test screenshotting and everyone was like, no, 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 and they just stopped that. Snapchat, you still screenshot and everybody gets an alert. Like, they didn't put their users first, they put making money first, and thus I totally tanked.
I feel like they didn't put making money first at all. They're like Netflix. They just are spending all this money thinking it's gonna come back to them, but because they weren't like doing it in a way that was smart, like the money never came back. It was like they were never really making that much money.
Well, if you remember that Rihanna ad, like they were just willing to take money from anybody and like throw ads up on their Discover. Do you know how much brands had to pay to like get on Discover too? Like they were just like throwing shit up there because they were like, oh, come, without thinking about the implications long term, in my opinion.
I feel like the ads that they did were actually like fine though, because they were doing like sponsored lenses, which were actually becoming pretty cool.
Sponsored lenses was cool,
they
but
did
when
like makeup brands and movies and all. I feel like
that was good.
They weren't doing enough advertising in a way that was smart. I feel like Instagram is so thirsty with the advertising. Like I see like the craziest shit sometimes, but
Really?
I feel like that's a symptom of Facebook.
It's probably a symptom of Facebook, and what I do on Instagram is if I see an ad, I literally hide it, and I say, I don't want to see this content, and honestly, I barely ever see any ads in my feed because I've personally chosen to have my experience be the way that I want it.
I don't mind the ads. Like I understand it's a necessary evil. This is a free app, like just like this is a free show, and if an ad were to come on, like I know you guys would understand. And we live in a capitalistic society. Like, make that money.
Totally.
Just deliver premium content and everyone will be happy. And Snapchat was not doing that. Henceforth, drops below $8.
No, I haven't opened my Snapchat app since December of last year. I never look at it.
Why don't you delete it so that in their next quarterly report, they have that accounted for?
Because I don't want anybody to take my username. So thus I just continue to leave it there.
Oh, just leave
the app itself?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's hidden in a folder somewhere. Like, it doesn't bother me, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Very fair. Okay, now it's this time that everyone's been waiting for. I will be asking Olivia all of your burning questions about life, love, business.
And the pursuit of happiness.
And, of course, the pursuit of happiness.
Okay.
Let's see. What is your go-to karaoke song? This one is about the pursuit of happiness.
By the way, I actually don't really have a go-to karaoke song, but it would be any song that I actually know all the words to.
Okay, fair. What kind of music, is your favorite kind? Who's your favorite artist?
To be honest with you, I like a lot of different types of music, and it's really all dependent on mood. To be honest with you, my Spotify does a really good job with my daily mixes. And so, I could either really be in the mood for, David Guetta, or, I could be in the mood for, Maren Morris. And I have a weird obsession with Madison Beer. And those are...
You do.
I love her.
Who's someone, if they came to town, you would spend any amount to, be front row, have to see them?
I don't know. That's what I always think about, because you guys, die to go to concerts. And I'm always I don't really care to go. I would just go to be with all of you, not, go to see the music.
Yeah.
It would probably be a John Mayer, just because I have loved him for so long and know all the songs, and I love Coldplay, and I loved them for a long time and loved all the songs, but I genuinely don't know. I'm not I'm not the biggest concert goer.
Yeah.
But I go for fun,
we
you know.
couldn't be more
I know.
dissimilar in that
No, you
sense.
Invited me to Bruno Mars, and I was like, nah.
I offered you free tickets.
You offered me free tickets, and I was like, no.
I was like, oh my God, okay. Anyways, people want to know about your job.
Okay.
Because you still work at Oath.
Yes, I do.
What is your day-to-day like?
Yes.
How is that going?
My day-to-day is good, and my job, it's actually so funny. So I do influencer strategy, talent marketing, and a lot of branded content video series sort of things. And I was doing that, and then I moved into more of a social media focused job, and I was helping do some of the corporate stuff in the interim. But there's been a lot of changes at Oath, and I'm since back doing, influencer and content development. So it's very fine. It's a job. I mean, I think what's funny, and I read some of the questions too, where it's how did you become such a boss woman? And so I'll just answer that question
Now.
But when I graduated from college, I had started interning at AOL, and I had taken the LSAT twice, and I really thought that I was going to go to law school, but everybody encouraged me to get some real work experience before going back to school. And so at the time, AOL was a publicly traded company, and I thought, great, this will be my checkbox for working in the real world, and then I'll go to school.
Is it no longer a publicly traded company?
Well, now Verizon is publicly traded, but we're like a private entity inside, so we don't necessarily have to report earnings every quarter like we used to have to.
I'm sure I'll be learning all about this at Harvard.
Yes, you will. And so anyways, just like when I got there, I was just like so excited by just digital media and mobile content and all this sort of stuff. And I was like, wow, like I really want to work in this space. And like I got the same score on the LSAT. I was like, maybe this is a sign I'm not doing any better. Like I'm not going to get into a good school. So like what the heck am I doing? Let me just stay here and figure out my life. So now I've been at the company, which has since been through about 10 to 15 different acquisitions, obviously acquired by Verizon. I've been there now for over 6 years. And so I've just had a host of many different jobs. And I think, I really like put my whole life into my career. Like I thought my career was like the thing that was gonna do it for me. And I was boss woman. I used to travel the world and blah, blah, blah. And like, I always put my job before myself. And I had somebody who's like a mentor to me at work who said, he's like, I just want you to remember, like, your job is never gonna love you back. Like, you should start really thinking about, like, putting yourself first. Like, you should get some love in your life. And, like, when I met Zach and just, like, knew from the start, like, this is what I wanted, my career has, like, I don't wanna say, like, been put to the back burner, but, like, at the end of the day, like, you have to put yourself first. Like, it's true, your job is never gonna love you back. Like, you can invest everything in the world into your job, but like, you only go there from 9 to 5.
Right.
Like, what about the rest of the time? What about your weekends? And so, like, I feel like I have so much of a better balance now where it's like, great, a job is a job, and like, my personal life is just like so popping off in such a positive way that it's like, great, whatever jobs you need me to do, like, I'm happy to do.
Totally.
But on the other side of it, like, I'm just so happy when I go home, like, and just being in my life that, like, that's where I invest even more of my time.
Because there was a time when like you were like even more of a businesswoman special than you are now. Like
totally.
We lived together and worked at the same company and we never saw each other because you were always like being the traveling salesman. And your coffee's spilling. That's so
God.
Weird. Those devil Starbucks cups.
No, well, it was like, it has on the top.
Oh, wow.
Now my hair's gonna smell like coffee all day, but
there are worse things.
Yeah, that's true.
You were the traveling salesman and advertising salesman.
Yes.
And like
I worked in advertising at that point. Now I'm in more so like entertainment, but yeah.
Right. So you just like your whole life was work, and now you really
my whole life has changed, and it's so much for the better. I think I'll always naturally have within me this like businesswoman spirit. Like I'm the oldest, right? Like my job is to just like take care and be in charge. Like this is just like how I like to be.
How you're programmed.
Right. But at the end of the day, like that can't be all you're about. And I'm so glad that like I've reprioritized my life to not be all about that.
Totally. So some folks want to know, how did you and Zach meet?
This is such a great story, but no, it's fine. Zach and I met on a dating app. When I saw him, I was just like...
Do you want to say which one for any hopeful romantics out there?
Sure. We met on JSwipe. It is a Jewish dating app. And when I saw him, I was just like, that's the one. Like, I have to meet him. Like, I just knew from the second I saw him, he's my type to a T. Like, this just like big hunky man. And I'm just like, get in my life right now. So we were messaging back and forth. I like couldn't even believe we matched. I'm like, oh my God. And
that's so cute.
And he was like, I'm traveling for work, but like, let's get together when I'm back. So I gave him my number and he never texted me. And I remember my friend Marnie's bridal shower, we all went out after for this girl's birthday, and I just like, had a good amount of drinks, and I got home and I was just like, whatever happened to that guy? I was just like, hunky one, like I need to find you. So I re-messaged him, which, by the way, I would rather drop dead than ever message somebody twice, because if you don't put in the effort to reach out to a woman, I just, like, don't want to hear from you. Like,
totally.
That's just not...
That's not my kind of person.
Right. I was just like, but you know what? There was just something about it. I really wanted to meet him. From the second I saw him, I was like, I got to meet that one. Then I was like, okay, you know what? I'll do it. So I re-messaged him, how were your travels? Like, I'll never forget it, because, like, I don't talk like that. Do you know, how were your travels?
You don't not talk like that.
Yes and no.
Things in which to snack.
But that wasn't me, that was Danny.
For sure, but you do that too now, because like we were saying yesterday, Meghan Markle lives with the royal family, she speaks British, you live with Danny, you speak things.
Does everybody know the things in which to snack on story?
No, our friend and former roommate, Danny, like we were talking about the way that she speaks. And
she's extremely articulate, but also like
very
verbose.
Roundabout in the way that she says. So there was like a hurricane coming, and you guys were like going.
We went to the grocery store to get food, because obviously.
To stock up, and so she was like, let's get things in which to snack, instead of just being like, let's get snacks. Like,
yeah.
It's just
and it just like became the defining example of like when you use too many words, which I definitely do. I talk in like marketing jargon, but like
in a workplace, it's a valued thing, because the longer you talk, like the longer the meeting is.
People think you're smart and you know what you're talking about. Totally. But anyways, how are your travels spun into a text conversation where we planned to go out the next Tuesday. And at that time, I actually didn't know that Zach was living in Philly. He had moved there for the year for his job, but he had signed a lease, like 3 weeks, was moving back to New York. So I was like, you know what, fine, like 3 weeks, not that bad, I'll figure it out. So we were supposed to go out that Tuesday, and I'll never forget because that Monday night he canceled on me because in his mind, like he was on the apps as a formality too, never really planned to meet anybody on it, which was like the same way with me where I was just like, I'll just do this so people get off my back, but like, I don't know if I'll ever meet anybody this way. So he canceled on me that Monday night, and I won't forget it because we went to Watch What Happens Live to see Daniel Eichholz, and I was just like, Zach and I, like the text conversation just like popped off and we were just like texting the whole time. Meanwhile, I'm at Watch What Happens Live. It's like such a great night, but I'm like on my phone talking to this stranger that I haven't met. And then that Thursday we went on Claudia's Bachelorette to Vegas and I was texting him the entire time. Like no one even knew I was like texting somebody that like I hadn't met, which I didn't tell anybody because like we hadn't met yet and it was weird. And I was staying in a room with Danny and she was like, to this day, she was like I saw you on your phone like smiling, but like you weren't on your phone where it was like all encompassing, like what are you doing on your phone? You know, it's just like so natural. Mind you, like I'm on a Bachelorette where I'm not like, you know, I'm raging essentially. And it was just like so natural and fantastic. And when I came home that Sunday, my friend Brittany was like, one thing that I recommend you do is like always talk to somebody on the phone. You can get such a good sense of somebody when you hear their voice. And so we spoke on the phone that night till 4 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, talked all day, all night, till 4 a.m., every night on the phone. We finally met the Thursday. Like from the second I saw him, I was just like, oh my God. We went on a 6-hour date. We had way too many drinks. We had the absolute best time. I went to the bathroom. I texted my friend Danny and I was just like, I know for a fact I'm on a date with my husband. I'm on a cloud right now. I just knew it from that moment. And then the next night, Zach wound up staying in the city just so we could go out again, where we went like on another 6-hour date that we just had the best time. And like then he went home for the weekend, but came back Monday. He took me to dinner. We've just like really, truly have been like inseparable ever since. And so I just like knew from the second I saw him on the app. I knew from the second I met him. And so that is essentially how we met.
That's so cute. So what are some of your guys' like hobbies? Like what are things that you guys like to do?
Totally. We love to watch TV together. We love to drink wine together. We love to cook together. We go on like a big 5 to 6 mile walk mostly every weekend. Like we just like being together. Zach watches a lot of football, like 2 TVs, like 3 fantasy football leagues, iPod, iPad, iPhone, like anywhere that it can stream, it's streaming. So I've since grown to like football as well, but mostly we just like spending time together and doing things together no matter what it is.
Very cute. Switching gears.
Yeah.
If you had to choose one sister to go on the Amazing Race with, who would it be and why?
Snatch.
Why? It's the wrong answer, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I'll explain.
Okay. I would choose Margot because one, she's extremely in shape and likes to move and would be willing to just like do the hard work. And 2, you know, we live together, so we have like a good partnership in terms of like how we divide and conquer.
For sure. The correct answer though would be me
Why?
because like I have high stretch levels, and it's like I would do the physical stuff. It would be hard for me, but I would do it all because like I can, and like I also have like the street smarts, and like I could get us out of a precarious situation. Like I think I would be I would be a good player at all of the different facets as opposed to just like really strong at one.
Okay. So I accept your resume. And
think about it.
And your cover letter.
Let me know.
And I will. I'll circle back and I'll let you know by end of week.
Thank you. Which is in an hour. What does a day in the life of Olivia O look like?
A day in the life of Olivia looks like I wake up, or is this like a weekend or a weekday?
I think weekday.
Okay, I wake up as late as I possibly can, which is probably 8:30 at the latest. I rush to get dressed. I always go to Starbucks. There's 2 Starbucks in the city right now that are super convenient to my life that I go every day, and everybody knows my order.
What's your order? It is hold on, let's see if I can read their language. A venti iced coffee. Single. No, she's not.
So
she's engaged.
Single means an extra shot. I need it to be a bit stronger.
No classic. Sugar-free vanilla. Extra ice. 2 Splendas. Light cream.
Half and half a splash.
Oh. Okay.
Would you like a sip?
What's no classic?
Classic is that simple syrupy sugar they put in. So instead of that, I get sugar-free vanilla.
Got it.
Yes. And a lot of people who listen to the Patreon heard my order and also now get the Olivia, and people are loving it.
Yeah,
So.
for Starbucks, it's pretty good.
And I have to say, I don't actually like the taste of Starbucks coffee, but I have been drinking this drink essentially this way for so long that it is just now like part of my routine, and I like this.
Got it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even know if you like coffee.
I don't even like Starbucks
Like, have you
coffee.
ever just had like a cup of coffee?
I have, but it's not like something I crave when I wake up in the morning. I just need this. Like, this gets me through my day.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I just need coffee. I don't even like it.
But I have to
need
say,
it.
recently I've just started going to like some delis in New York City that have just like hazelnut iced coffee, and it's
Very good.
fucking awesome.
But it depends on the deli, because sometimes the coffee smells like a deli.
No, it depends on the fact of how many other things you need, because you need to hit a $5 or $10 credit card minimum.
Of course.
Yeah.
How has it been living with Snitch? And
Oh, I didn't finish my day.
Oh,
Should
right.
I
We only
finish
got
my
your
day?
coffee. Yeah, because a lot of people want to know. So
Okay, so
we'll table the Snitch talk.
I grab a coffee, and I usually like Uber Pool, Via to work. I go to work from around like 9:30 to 5. And then I usually come home. Zach and I will cook, and we will watch The Good Wife and then go to sleep.
I'm so hungry. You're making me hungry.
Okay. I'll cook for you.
Ooh, what do you
I
make?
should come over to your apartment and we should have dinner and I'll cook.
That would be nice.
Do you have pots and pans?
I have pot.
Great. One pot. That's all
I
we
have
need.
pot and I have pan.
Great. Do you have spoon and fork?
Oh yeah, I have so many utensils.
great.
I use
Great,
a lot
great,
of
great.
utensils. I have
Okay.
everything else I have, and the rest I'm registering for.
Okay, cool.
How has it been living with Snitch? When are you moving in with Zach? And what's going to happen to the Snitch?
Okay, great. That's an amazing question, because Zach and I have actually been looking for an apartment now for 2 months.
And you found one.
We found one. The paperwork is in, but we're renting a condo, so it takes a while to get approved by the board. But essentially, like, all these things are just happening at the same time, which is chaotic and madness. But hopefully we will be moving in the next couple of weeks. And Snitch, I will miss her dearly. She has been a wonderful roommate. We just, lay in our separate rooms and don't talk to each other sometimes. We eat dinner.
There's nothing better.
We eat dinner and then we go our separate ways, But
Yeah.
it just, she's like she wakes up in the morning, I'm like, hi. Like, she's just like a person that you're so excited to see when you wake up. She is a good roommate in the sense that she's dependable, she's reliable, she's fun. She's always down, like, go out to dinner, order in dinner. Like, she's just like, you don't have any roommate problems with Snitch.
Yeah.
Could she be a little tidier? Sure.
Could you?
Sure, of course. But I also, as I mentioned before, like, I'm in the business of taking care of people and things, so, like, I don't mind it.
For sure. Are you ready to be Mrs. Altivia Shapiro?
Hell yeah, I am.
Are you going to change your last name? We were talking about this.
I am going to change my last name. It's so funny. My friend Danny got me a jacket that says Mrs. Shapiro, and I've been, like, wearing it around like I'm married.
Oh my God,
and Zach
that's
was
so
like,
funny.
I would literally get married to you on the side of the road tomorrow. Like, we could very well get married tomorrow, and, like, it would just be no thing. Like, we just want to be married. I, like, call him husband, and, like...
Would you ever elope?
I would. I mean, I just, like, would want people that I love to be there, but there's, like, 10 people that I love. So it's, like, not that big of a group, but...
We could all go.
I'm super ready. I just feel like I was, like, born to be, like, a wife and a mother and just, like, continue to take care of more people and just, be in charge.
For sure.
Be in charge of a household, like, I was born for those things.
Totally.
Yeah.
If you could have any singer perform at your wedding, who would you pick and what would be the song that they sing? That's a great question because it goes back to, like,
Dead or alive?
my curiosity about your music taste. Alive. It's
Ooh.
easy to go dead. Billie Holiday.
I would say Frank Sinatra, obviously, because Zach loves Frank Sinatra, and
Oh,
that's our
right.
song is Frank Sinatra. It's just it's such a hard question. Like, I genuinely don't know. I really don't. Like, I just
That
like,
is so crazy.
The thing is, I just like all music. Like, I really do. Like, if it's a jam, like a bop, I'm like, I'll jam out to it. It doesn't have to be by a specific person. Like, I don't wait with like bated breath for like Lauren Elena to drop her new single, which is apparently amazing, and I'm so happy for her. But like, at the end of the day, like, I'll listen to anything. Mm-hmm. Jess Glynn is every song is a bomb. Like, I just love her too, but it's like, I wouldn't necessarily choose her. I don't know.
Interesting. This is very
Who would
interesting.
you choose?
Oh my God, where would I even begin? I mean, maybe Bruno Mars singing like "Just the Way You Are" and "To Marry You" for my wedding would be like really
That's
nice.
amazing.
I
will
like,
say
maybe Ellie Goulding, which is a weird choice, but I love the song "Love You."
Love Me Like You Do?
Love Me Like You Do. Like, I think
See,
it's
I
such
know all the songs.
a great love song. I could go for Christina Perri, like "Twist My Arm," sure.
I would have to say probably
Josh
though,
Groban.
Yeah, Josh
sure.
Groban is a good
You
one.
can perform.
I'm a big Lady A fan. Like, I've seen them. That's the only I've been 9 times. So I can actually say that probably them. Like, I love some of their music so much. And my friend Matt has always taken me, and that's just, like, been our thing. And so probably, like, I mean, I wouldn't pay any amounts of money to see them because I've seen them so many times. So I'm stumped.
Okay.
You stumped me.
Love it. How will your wedding be different from mine? Do we have different bride styles? And also, what kind of bride do you think you're going to be?
Totally.
Let's start with that because I'm curious.
I don't know. And someone else asked this question, like, have I been the type of person that, like, dreamed up my wedding my whole life? No, I have not been. It's not my personality. Like, I'm just, like, I am, like, in my mind, I am simple and, like, classy, traditional with, like, a pop of pizzazz. That's, like, what I imagine for myself, right? Like, when everyone's like, what's your decor style? I'm always like, white and black with a pop of color. Like, that's just how, like...
That's very Kris Jenner, too.
So that's just how I imagine myself. I think, honestly, we'll be very different, but, like, in a very complimentary sort of way. For me, the only thing is just, like, I want to be, like, more in charge.
Yeah, you want more responsibility.
Like, I would literally do all the planning, all the everything myself. Like, I wouldn't want somebody to plan my bachelorette for me. Like, I want to do it myself. Like, this is just, like, these are genuine, like, things that I enjoy doing. Yeah. I enjoy doing them for others, and thus I will enjoy doing them for myself.
So do you think you're going to be more of, like, a bridezilla than a bridezilla?
I'm going to try really hard to be. I think, like, there's no reason to be a zilla when you're just, like, happy and everything's going great. But I think also, like, planning a wedding is a lot. There's a lot of things that, like, we're both super fortunate that, like, Claudia did it, and she is the best about everything. She's like, I'll get you this, I'll get you that, you need this, you need that. Like, she's so amazing about that. So, like, for us, I actually think it will be easier where we won't have to be zillas because...
But I feel like the zilla isn't even about the planning. It's like, are you... Like, some people are just so crazy about, like, specific things. They're like, I don't want it like that. Like, why is she being this way? This, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just so, like...
Like, I'm the type of person that it's like, honestly,
DNA.
like, wear what you want, look your best, does this work for you? Like, because at the end of the day, if there's going to be tension, then, like, it's not going to be fun. So... Yeah. I'm not going to be Zilla about those sorts of things. Will you?
No, I'm not Zilla because I don't like yell at people, but I'm definitely like bride stressa.
Yeah,
like
stressa.
I'm stressed as hell. But so I'm not like chill about it, like let the chips fall where they may. But I'm also not like being a Godzilla.
I agree.
But I'm just like bride-anxiety.
Yeah. Keep going. Bride stressa, bride-anxiety.
Bride pit. So there's a lot of different kinds of brides that you could be.
Totally.
How are you guys getting along planning weddings at the same time? Are you looking into venues, caterers, and et cetera together? Well, it's only been a week. So we're getting along well, but we actually did have back-to-back meetings.
We did.
With Birch Event Design last week, and I was a little late, and you must have left early because I missed you.
So I heard that you were coming, and then you texted that you were in traffic, and I was like, I actually really have to go. So I like waited to see you, and then I couldn't wait anymore.
No, I understand it, and I didn't even I wasn't even like, wait for me because like.
Totally.
You're a busy woman.
No, and also, like, you could just call me and, like, we can...
Right, if I wanted to see you, like, I know where to find you.
Totally. I actually think it will be so fun. Like, it just makes everything easier to do it together. Like, did you do this?
Totally.
Like, I called you about something the other day, and I was like, hey, like, have you done this? Like, what do you think?
Right, and it's like, if I have vendor options for you, like, I'll give them all to you, and now there are things that you're looking at, and I haven't started yet.
Yeah.
And then you, like, sent me, like, a video person the other day.
And honestly, like,
I haven't even, like, started looking into that.
Right, totally. Well, because Marnie recommended them to me, and I was like, it's gorgeous, and I feel like it's totes your aesthetic, and I was like, you would really like this. Like, because we have different styles that I'm like,
we do.
Ooh, this is so Jackie, and like, ooh, this would be so me. But like, I'm open to people's recommendations, like hair, makeup, band, like, we only know like what we know, and I'm down to just like learn more, because part of it is just like the experience of like just hearing bands and like seeing venues and just like, look and see what you like and what you don't, and like, I'll recommend stuff to you, recommend stuff to me.
For sure. So that would answer this next question. Do you think that you'll have a bride war situation? Like,
hell no.
Definitely not. That movie Bride Wars
that
makes
movie's so stupid,
no
but it's like
sense.
cute,
like,
you know?
Who cares about their wedding that much? Well, first of all, no one like plans their wedding since they're 6 years old. I'm sorry, that's just like not a real thing.
I think if you care about your wedding that much, your priorities are off. Like, care about your relationship more, like care about your life in general more versus like a party for one night.
No, and like that was just so insane, that movie, for so many different reasons. And like a wedding planner like that, Candace Burgess, would never double book. Yeah, whatever.
I really like her. Murphy Brown. Did you talk about that?
What's that?
That's just like a show from like the 70s that it was another one that like came back, and it came back this week.
Missed my radar.
Great. I'd never seen it or heard of it until that, so.
Very important question. When do you and Zach want to start having kids? And then my follow-up to that is, Who do you think is going to be the first of the Steens to have the first cousin?
I actually really don't know, but what I'm really excited about is that they will really all be the same age, which will be just so nice and so fun. I think, you know, Zach and I are...
Knock on wood, because
yes,
you never
knock
know.
on wood.
Man plans, God laughs.
Zach and I are down to get married soon so that we have like a little bit more time as a married couple and then just like start popping them out. But honestly, like we should all kind of like sit down and like plan because I'm really
I feel
down
like you
for
should
that.
go first.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm down. I think Claudia's down. I don't think Claudia wants to be first.
Okay.
So I think it would be between you or I, but I feel like it should be you.
Okay, great. I'll get right on that.
Okay, thank you. Ali Muhajir asked a question. If you guys were offered a reality show about your lives and relationships and work, is that something that you would do? I know you are probably the most private of the Steens. What do you think?
That's a great question. I think, honestly, and it has been a conversation that we've broached with people before, I'm like so down to do whatever. It's really all about like the partner that you do it with.
Right.
Like we would need to do it with somebody that just gets us. That's not trying to make us into something. Like if you just want to capture like the real reality of like what it all is, amazing. If you're looking for like an edited like fluff fake version of something, no. So
for me, it's like Bravo or bust. Like I don't need some like thirsty little show on Oxygen.
Fair.
Like it's either like real deal or you can scram. Like I'm not that
totally
thirsty
agree
for a
with
reality
that.
show that I would do like a little web show
But
on MTV, like hoping it turns into something.
No, I totally agree with that. And I also think like it would be amazing just also from what we would capture that we would have for years to come, like looking back on it 20 years, it would be like amazing.
Hilarious.
You know?
Like Claudia's episode of Say Yes to the Dress, like I love watching.
Totally.
It's like it's just a memory.
It's such a good one that's been captured in a beautiful way.
For sure, but like right now we think we're so cool, but like if we were to film ourselves and then like look back in 20 years, we'd be like, damn, we were embarrassing.
No, we'd be like, loser.
Literally, like the first season of Kardashians when Kim's like, my family has a lot of baggage, but it's like Louis Vuitton baggage. Like, you know she's so fucking embarrassed
But
now.
it's also iconic to the time.
Right. And
you know?
it's just
like so Paris Hilton, which I love Paris Hilton still, you know?
Totally. And you just got to be true to who you are.
Yeah.
Anyways, final question I'll ask for you.
Okay.
Because you are the businesswoman special.
Yes.
What are some like interview tips that you have for the Toasters? Because you know we're a very like young professional community here. What are some of your tips for landing an interview, landing a job, all of that?
Yes, amazing question. I thought you meant interview in like this setting, and I was just like,
oh, like how
by
to
the
be
way,
a
this
good...
is my first time co-hosting. I am extremely weird in front of the camera. Like,
no, you're doing a great job. People are loving it.
Okay, good. I'm glad. This is just like not my forte. But in an interview per se, I think I'm a little bit different in the way that I interview or expect an interview because for me, it's all about personality. I think that you can learn anything on the job. But it's more so about if you vibe with the person that you're going to be working for and the people that you're going to be working with. Because at the end of the day, you need to learn from them and they need to learn from you. If you go in and like you love the job description, you can do everything, but like you're an on the people, don't go for it. And also like be your true self when you walk in the door so like they get a sense from you and you get a sense from them. Like the reality is you spend a good amount of time at work, like you should enjoy it. You should enjoy the people that you're with. Like you shouldn't always be looking over your shoulder like worried about, you know, people coming for you, which does 100% happen in the corporate world. But if you get a whiff of that in the interview, probably not the right place for you. I think the reality is that persistence is key. Message people on LinkedIn, go to events, ask people for referrals, like you have to put yourself out there. It's not just gonna come to you. And it's the same with like dating, you know, like it's actually, I just want to tell this really quick story because on last Friday when I got engaged, I also found out that 2 people that I matched went out and had the time of their lives. They've been out 3 times since in the last week. Like this girl is like, I truly feel.
Do I know them?
Maybe by association, and I'll tell you after because I don't want to blow up anybody's spot. But essentially, it's a friend's ex-boyfriend's friend, so somebody I don't even really know, with my friend's friend. We were on a bachelorette, and she was like, I just like don't meet any great guys. Like, do you know anybody for me? And I was like, I know this like one guy, like 3rd degree of separation. He's single. Like, we weren't even Facebook friends, but I messaged him. I'm like, hey, this is really weird, but like I have a weird feeling that like I have somebody for you. Like, are you interested? And he was like, sure. And I sent the number and the name. And he didn't reach out for a month. And then he reached out, and that last Friday that I got engaged was like the night after they went out, and they just had the time of their lives. Like, it was so great. And so like dating and interviewing, it's the exact same thing. Like, put yourself out there if this is something that you really want, and how do you vibe with the person.
And
At the end
be
of it,
yourself, because eventually, like, your the real you's gonna come out, and why have wasted all that time pretending to be someone else? Like,
totally. Every company uses a different system that you have to get trained on, that you have to learn how to get set up with a printer. Like, it's different everywhere you go. So it's like you're not gonna have the 100% of the skill set when you walk in. Don't expect to. Just be really aware of the environment and the culture.
I think the worst part about like having a job is figuring out how to use the printers.
Totally.
Because like no one ever tells you, oh, and then they do, and it doesn't work. Like it doesn't connect.
Totally.
So
I agree.
I worked at AOL for like over 3 years total, and anytime I had to print something, I sent it to you to print.
Yes, you did.
Because I never got
I
connected.
did figure out how to use the printer, and I print just fine.
Right, because like they teach interns that stuff, you know. So you weren't
Totally.
interning, so you learned like really from the ground up everything about how the
place.
office works.
And that's why I like working there, because like I've been in this, it's the same situation for over 6 years. I know the same people to go to do this and to do that. When I leave my badge at home, like it's just like I created a situation where like I worked really hard for a long time to get to this place to just be like really happy and comfortable in that environment.
Which is really all you can ask for.
Totally.
Anyways, thank you so much for joining us, Olivia, and answering all of our questions.
Bye, everybody. I'm so thankful that I could make it here today. I
Right.
loved being here. I love the toaster community. It's just, you guys are killing it. I'm so proud of you. It's so wonderful.
Thank you. We love the toasters too. Thank you guys for tuning in today. We will be back on Monday. I won't be here. Claudia will be here, I think, co-hosting with hashtag Snitch on the Toast.
I believe too.
And Lauren Burnham will be the guest. So that will be so interesting. I can't wait to watch.
So interesting. I have some scoop on that.
I need to comment my questions because I like have so many for her, and I'm sad I'm not meeting her, but I will be serving up premium content from Dallas. So we will see you back here on Monday. Follow me at Jackie O Problems because, you know, you really just shouldn't.
And at Olivia Oshry.
Premium content.
Premium content. Follow me as we shred for the wedding, businesswoman special, be in with the Steens.
All the above.
I don't do anything else, so that's all you can expect
That's
from
enough,
me.
honestly. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Have a great weekend.